Hey guys, it's me again. Sorry about the lower voice. It's like 6 a.m. when I'm recording this. But anyway, for those who don't know, everybody here on Anime America gets one birthday list a year to celebrate for their month, and my month was for September. So, yes, it's late. For various PC reasons that you guys don't have to worry about, this video could not be done until now. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, and I know there's going to be a lot of dated stuff that's going to be said in this video about it being September when it's actually October. Regardless, the video is still good, so I hope you enjoy the show.
Hey all you ramen gorging party people, and okay, even though I knew that last year's birthday list would spawn this one by demand, I was highly begrudging it because the amounts of good female harem leads are underwhelmingly minuscule. Despite them being towards my demographic, female harem leads most of the time are either bland as a box of bran flakes, played to the note of, I can't do anything, or are so annoying I'd rather listen to Wheels in the Bus on loop. Honestly, this list was 3 times harder to make than the male one. Regardless, after looking high no hair for reverse harem anime with good leads, I think I have come up with a list of candidates that I'm comfortable with sharing. As a heads up, I've picked these ladies with a similar criteria to last year's list, with a few minor alterations. 1, I'm being more lenient to adding girls who are from conceptual harems. Otherwise, we really wouldn't be having this list now, would we? And 2, the caveat being this list would be much more emphasized on relevancy. As with many reverse harems, it's almost like the show forgets they exist. It doesn't cut it for me if I can't see the character as anything more than just drawings. So that's about all the housekeeping I can think of. Wait, hold on. I almost forgot something real important. Just give me a minute. Happy birthday to me! Ah, yeah! Now let's get this shindig started. Here is my list for the top 10 female harem leads in anime. Number 10.
Angelique from Neo Angelique Abyss.
Making entries for the bottom 3 girls on this list was the hardest challenge I had. Between the other iterations of her franchise, the one from Abyss was the best we got, honestly. But, alright comment section, I'll play the devil advocate's card because Angelique is a character I could appreciate on a level of context. Her lead in question is from a prim proper girl school, only wanting to grow up to be a doctor to help everyone. But you know, she was surprisingly not annoying despite her frailty. I mean, she is a dainty, rather fragile character who wants to live up to everyone's expectations as the Queen's egg. Alas, her supporting role for her friends and healing ambience that brings everyone together is rather sweet. Not to mention her character design was pleasing to the eye. It goes to show that not every good harem lead has to be a kick-ass who can punch someone's teeth in. But in fairness, this is also why she's here at the 10 spot respectively. And that's still okay. Leaving an okay impression is much better than leaving no impression at all. So in the words of gaming culture, I think there's only one remark that defines Angelique perfectly. Always protect your supports. Always. Number 9. Alice from Alice in the Country of Hearts. This version of Alice, as presented in the manga series, is a girl of moxie and colorful commentary. I mean, no, she won't be the next anime comedian, but I just like seeing Alice articulate on how ridiculous her situations are in this world of Wonderland, even after getting used to it for so long. This huffy attitude complements the curious onlook of her actions. What I liked best is that they didn't completely write off the aspects of her character found in her more Disney-like counterpart, but instead it's elevated to that only in anime standard that in my opinion worked super well. With all that being said, the 9th spot is where she will stay because there's only so much I can gather from her OVA movie thing. Yeah, there's the manga series, but I thought that it would feel tacked on, and while her movie portrayal was good enough, in anime form, I wanted to see more situations fleshed out than the stuff we got. But that little snippet we got was much more appealing than most harem leads out there. So chin up everybody and look onto the horizon. Now if only we could incorporate some special powers here and there, some pigs, an old Japanese grandpa spouting life lessons, and this wonderland would truly be golden. Number 8. Megumi Amatsuka from Cheeky Angel. Probably the most unique circumstances on this list, Megumi is a wonderful, genuine character who's really the full package. She's beautiful, outspoken, has an awesome best friend, and used to be a boy. That's right, folks, it's the good old magical gender swap that gets shoehorned into an otherwise slice-of-life romance comedy. I want to disclaim that this anime was made in 2002, so the discussions about today's feelings on gender roles was not as prevalent. Yet the constant emphasis of the show's rhetoric sometimes made me frustrated. Regardless, Megumi is a memorable character for me back in my younger days of being an anime fan. Megumi's interaction with the other characters was funny, yet down to earth. Her character flaws, in fact, were by far my favorite parts about her. Her lack of patience, her strong nature to protect others, her brash behavior to be a male again was so good. However, the magical plot device is one of the main reasons why she's at number 8. My question for this anime is why? Why make this hook in your plot so ridiculous when Megumi stands just fine on her own? This complaint is paired much with the ending's resolution, and where this magic didn't do squat. On the other hand, it proves that this show wouldn't cut it in today's age, where all the what's exclusive to male or female type jargon could make some people uncomfortable. While you could say that this isn't fair to Megumi's character, I would argue otherwise. Without it, none of the current actions would have been met. But if this is just the number 8 spot, then take this as a very optimistic promise for the rest of the girls down the line. Number 7.
Hold up! My melodrama senses are tingling. You are talking about Fushigi Yuugi, aren't you?
Yep!
Well, let me handle this for you since, well, I did make a whole frickin' month dedicated to the show's creator while reviewing this show. Yuatase's life. Miaka Yuuki from Fushigi Yuugi The Mysterious Play. Miaka is a sweet girl who's still really young. She wants to do what is best for others, but will cave in every once in a while when something goes right by her. While we know she is in love with Tamahome and wants to find a way for the two of them to be together, she will also acknowledge the feelings of others. Wasn't that a rare trait? When she felt Tamahome was forever gone and Hotohori confessed his true feelings for her, Miaka actually wanted to try and see where the relationship would take her. When she thought Tamahome was dead and felt that she wasn't worthy of love because she was actually convinced that she was raped, Amiboshi steps in to make her feel beautiful again. He even tries to marry her because he doesn't care whether or not she's damaged because he sees her as a good person. She's a harem lead that actually recognizes when others are in love with her and will do what she can to let them down gently since she doesn't like hurting people's feelings. She learns from all of her mistakes and just wants to find a way to bring peace during a war where many lives will be lost. Though the relationship with Tamahome is pretty cheesy, it's a relationship that they both had to fight for. The whole show is a giant melodramatic cheese fest that makes it a genuine harem soap opera, but Miaka makes a decent lead because of her attention towards others and her genuine will to be honest and thoughtful. She started out as a typical teenage girl, only to walk away as a stronger and more honest person who wants to do her best to make others happy. She's been through war and back, so she's going to appreciate each day she has with her friends and the love of her life.
Number 6. Shuurei Ko from the story of Saiunkoku. What makes this noble woman made into concubine and civil servant so special is a combination of intelligence and go-getter business attitude. She's talented in a variety of ways, from teaching to instrumentation of both musical devices and mathematical tenure. It's a refreshing take on something otherwise meh nowadays. Shuurei gets my respect for taking things in full stride while also not coming off as a hopeless girl wanting to just survive. She has interests, calculative thoughts, desires, and she takes on opportunities and problem solves in an organic way that is seamless to her surroundings. Conclusively, the only reason she isn't any higher on the list is her uniqueness. Making a smart lead in this setting has been attempted before, but not without some stupid consequences. More about highlighting the Seishounen and leaving the girl to be bland as a doorknob. Plus, as with most of these types of subgenres, it takes a little bit for the ball to get rolling to see what Shuurei can really do as a civil servant. Either way, if you have some time to hunt this down, I highly suggest to go check it out. After this commercial break, of course. And now it's time for my new mid-video segment, the Community Corner, the time where I give a shout out to other creative outlets in the anime community in hopes that more people will have a look-see. This one goes out to a group that I have talked about before on the channel, but now that I'm doing this segment, I thought I'd make it more official. Now then, do you like podcasts? Want to hear internet nerds talk about the zany world of dubbed anime? Well, you've come to the right place. In each episode of the Dub Talk podcast, these misfits get together to eat, breathe, and sleep English dub announcements, reviews, and all other hijinks. With everyone at the helm, take it from me, you're going to have one wild ride. If you have a desire to get your dub fix on, then grab a snack, sit back, and head on over to youtube.com/dubtalk for all that goodness. Tell them Shen says hi. Also, happy 1K subscribers, guys! Now, if you know of any creative outlets that need attention in this world of anime, either comment down below or at AA Shannen on Twitter with the hashtag Community Corner to tell me all about it. In this time where outreach is more important than ever, well, I may be just one girl on the internet, I will always try my best. Number 5. Kajika Louisa Kugami. Oh, fuck, this is a long name. Burnsworth from Hanasakeru Seishounen. Let me tell you about this fresh breath of air. Also, she's half American, so... America! Fuck yeah! Anyway, here we have a 14-year-old heiress to an upstanding business mogul who was raised on an island for most of her life. But that is only the synopsis, as the rest becomes a good old-fashioned game of My Secret Bachelors and Me. With all that in mind, it's no surprise that Kajika would have a rather wild personality about herself, because she was held on a fucking island all her life, for Pete's sake. You won't see too much frailty here. She will gladly speak what's on her mind, and boldly do whatever the hell she wants if it means helping others or herself. She is fearless, headstrong, and trusts her instincts. Her social cues are not what you would call the standard of the game of Harem. So why the halfway mark? Well, actually, I've never really seen a case so jarring in anime leads before, so you could say her flaws make this just as unique as everything else. First off, her naivety astounds me on a personally aggravating level. I mean, yes, she wasn't raised on normal social cues for a lady of her status. Even if it doesn't lead to anything, it's still kind of jarring to me on how she doesn't register those consequences when she, in question, puts everyone in the friend zone. Speaking of jarring views of friendship, the inevitable knowing jack all about love punched into her character clashes heavily with her uniqueness. I mean, she isn't the most relatable harem lead on this list, so why even try to ground her reality? Another problem I have with Kajika is her character design. It may be a minuscule opinion, but her character design may look very beautiful, but she definitely doesn't look like a 14-year-old in my eyes. But all in all, she still is a great outlier in the harem formula, because like the free-willed spirit that really had an underrated movie, Kajika, whatever her last name is, strides ahead the pack as a wild example of what leads could be. Number 4. Today's number 4 was brought to you by the letter K. K for... Tsukushi Makino from Boys Over Flowers. Makino, as some of you know, set the real bar for what a reverse harem lead should be all about. Even though she wasn't the first reverse harem lead, I believe Makino's journey was the Rosetta Stone for all things to come in the genre. And yes, those are some big fighting words. She takes her situations by storm, even at the face of hardship. She gets bullied a lot, yet her resolve for the most part is still intact. Her lifestyle may not be filled with whimsical encounters or magical destinies for being the chosen one, but she still nonetheless is a highly relatable and condensed package of a character. From episode 1, Makino already wanted to change herself as she coped with her ups and downs. Her every emotion makes me as a viewer react with her, to feel with her. She's on so many levels complex that I can't help but feel brought into her perspective. Well, I do say that, but I can admit that when she reacts with Rui is when I have a problem, and one of the main reasons she's at for. Sometimes it felt like Rui's existence was the be-all, end-all in order for her to progress. I get it. Rui likes someone else at this point in the anime, but my god, I just don't like his flip-flopping dull face having... I don't like you. It's so abrasive with the momentum of her character that it just makes me go nuts! But I guess we wouldn't have a drama if Makino didn't have such an Achilles heel. Also, again, her character design fits in a show that's more grounded in reality. It's not really that memorable. Makino, in conclusion, is a centerpiece perfectly made for this anime, but like all centerpieces, one size certainly does not fit all. So, here is where she will stay in both my greatest respect for her as a harem lead and just a plain good character overall. Number 3. Did you guys really think I was gonna make a list without her here? You guys know who I'm talking about without even me uttering her name. But did you know she isn't here alone? That's right, folks. We have a tie. Haruhi Fujioka from the Ouran High School Host Club, and Sunako Nakahara from the Wallflower. It's easy to state that the former needs no introduction. She's a fan favorite among many. However, while the latter also may be known in some circles, all you newer buckaroos may not be exposed to the cult bargain bin classic. But let's compare, shall we? Starting off quickly with Haruhi, you can say her appeal begins in her introduction. Thanks to the thick outlining and angular character design, Haruhi's reveal of being a girl is more impactful. Then as we move on throughout the series, all the subtle presentation is fully left to blossom in such a nice manner, with the environment around her being filled to the brim with kids who have so much time on their hands. Haruhi anchors us back into her mindset, and we move with her. She's more chill than most harem leads, has her trademark stride of independence, plus her small love of eating fancy foods is so adorbs. I mean, we've all been there, right? Fancy restaurants, food that's way too expensive for our pockets, but we enjoy every morsel that we could get anyway. Sorry, my mouth is watering. Speaking of affordability, I do like the fact that she doesn't play the popper card too much, as it belittles other harem leads of this type of show. She never goes, "Oh, woe is me. I will never be able to be with you because we live in two different worlds," but rather makes some light commentary that plainly I would do in those situations. Even her flaws complement her to a T. Her stringent needs for independence does nip her in the butt a lot. Not relying too much on people has waned her ability to, ask for help. With even more stuff to say about her, there's no denying why she's so loved by many. In contrast, we have the Wallflower. Sometimes called the poor man's Ouran High School Host Club, this anime does hit a lot of very similar tones. In a nutshell, Sunako Nakahara takes the extremist approach to Haruhi's character. She's a recluse gore and horror fanatic who is loud in both character design and action. Sunako is a childlike, confident harem lead, being able to fight with the best of them with her incredible brawn, in contrast to Haruhi's brainiac studying spree. Outside of that, she tries her best to stay away from the quote-unquote people of light, and tries to be accepted by those in the darkness. Do you notice a trend here? You see, I find it seemingly fascinating that whatever is subtle and obvious in Haruhi is remixed in Sunako. Where Haruhi, for example, couldn't care less about her social appearances, Sunako does in her own way, but she's more conscious of that social divide. Ergo, Sunako has much more of a bouncier personality than Haruhi. She rarely holds back her thoughts, even her weaknesses, and that's pretty admirable. Her whimsical nature on taking mundane tasks to the extreme only reflects on who she is inside. Yet I still want to root for this problem child to become a better person, not just a better lead. With all of these sentiments are the reason these two tie. Each is an iteration of the other. Different as they can be in some aspects, there are just some core similarities that are really intriguing to take note of. Number 2. Yona from... I'll let you take a guess. That's right, Anime Milan has a Grey Star presence. Now from the blueprint, we would normally get a meek harem lead who spouts nonsense about saving something or getting revenge, only to be needed to be saved countless of times by our hot boy brigade. Unfortunately for our Yona, that's a luxury she isn't going to get because in this anime, people sure die when they are killed. But enough about that. Yona herself is number 2 on this list because she's the perfect combination of a slow progressive, self-doing character who can get the gist of a situation very quickly. She owns up to her ignorance from the get-go in order to gain her resolve to move forward and face the ugly reality. With a desire to learn everything she could from her bow skills, composure in combat, and the ways of common exchange, Yona is the type of person who proves that she wants to change the country with her own hands. This core momentum is driven by her quieter moments. Her fiery intensity during serious scenes is displayed with much variety, while in the simplest of moments she becomes quite the blunt comedian if you let her. I like that the series remembers to make her someone to hook onto and never get bored with. Design Design-wise, she has the most vibrant color palette of the leads here, her signature red hair especially being a staple to who she is and what makes her visually memorable. A dragon's fire of hope, burning in the dawn for the people. But just like Makino, Yona's emotions are relatable, with her hardships feeling human. Even if the series itself is swept in its own whimsical air, Yona herself can retain the best parts of emotional payoff in all spectrums of a great harem lead. Of course, it's been 2 years since season 1, and as salty as it is, the lack of a proper continuation or resolution is a major reason why she's not number 1. I feel unsatisfied, and this may be a list about characters, but if you're just a watcher of the anime, I feel like the story had just got started. So until we get more of this, she will stay where she is. Conclusively, Yona truly has given this genre a new dawn. No pun intended. She not only inspires the characters around her, but the real-life viewers who cheer her on. And truly, this is a magical thing. A perfect formula for one of my favorite harems of all time.
Before we get to number 1, here are some honorable mentions.
The heroine from Amnesia. While she doesn't have a name or a core personality, I found it interesting how the anime utilized the bland harem lead problem in a creative manner that put logic in an otherwise forced dimension hopping scenario. Kohaku Hino from La Corte de Dior, the harem lead who with the power of happiness and music forged a way to discover her passion. I honestly thought she was an annoying girl who took me way too long to get used to. Plus I never liked the whole, I just want to live a normal life excuse when something cool happens. But her determination, her amount of relevancy, and growing love for the craft put more meat on a show that could have easily went the musical boy buffet route. And finally, Himeno Awayuki from Pre-Tier. To me, she's the fusion ha of magical girls. And for most of the series, she has a lot of potential. But I felt like the romances were more like a triangle than a full-on harem, or at the very least, the harem was but a side dish. Plus, she's kinda like Miaka, but with a lot less appeal.
Number 1.
You know, I did say that in the beginning of this video that it was much harder to make this list than the male one. Though the funny thing is, number 1 was a dead ringer from the get-go. She's in a focused harem who's surprisingly from the newest anime thus far on this list. Nonsense to the dilly-dallying. Let's just bring her out!
Kae Serinuma from Kiss Him, Not Me.
Now, as stated before, I have already done a review of this anime explaining so much about her, so I hope you don't mind if I keep this section short. Anyway, I think one reason why she overtook Yona for me had to come down to relatable nuance. Yona represents the fantasy, otherworldly settings that harems can take you to, while Kae is the pinnacle to modern harems. The theme surrounding Kae in her anime, the based on appearances conflict, is something certainly done before, but not in this manner. Now, I don't care which side of the body-shaming Kae sub-performance losing weight argument you're on. I just personally believe that having more representation, good representation of a character who no matter the body type can still resonate with people is great. I could relate to Kae myself because I don't have the greatest body type either. Plus, she didn't really care about losing weight, it just happened. So that's not really her fault here. Ironically, this just makes episode 12 feel more satisfied than Yona's. The manga does still continue on from here, yet I feel like anime-wise, I could accept an outcome where she chooses no one, even if we never get another season. It oddly feels more finished, regardless. Like a Kiss Him Not Me Route A, if you will. She's a nerdy fujoshi who lives, eats, and sleeps her favorite hobbies, that wants to value the feelings each person conveys to her in her harem. Her flaws may run her into some trouble sometimes, though that doesn't hurt her credibility. In these moments, she conveys the best parts of everyone before her on this list. So conclusively, with all this being taken into account, I can confidently decree, by the hands of all that is harem namicon, that Kae Serinuma is the best female harem lead in anime. And we're done! Thank you guys for watching another birthday list, and next year I swear nothing harem related. Gotta change things up for variety's sake and all. So yeah, I'm gonna go now and get some bubble tea at this new place that opens nearby. That's just brimming with the good stuff. I mean, we're talking good authentic bubble tea here. Okay, coming. Gotta go, tip your waitresses, say yada yada yada, stay tuned to Anime America. Hey wait, don't drive off, wait!
Want to support the production? Check out our brand new store on Store Envy. For For a small price, you can have a one-of-a-kind poster made by yours truly. If you can only give a small amount to help us out, check out our Patreon page. Any amount you wish to give us goes towards our production needs, so anything you can give us helps us a lot. To keep up with the latest in Anime America stuff, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Tumblr. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe to Anime America for more awesome reviews and top 10 lists. If you're interested in anything of pop culture, be sure to subscribe to Pop Spectrum. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned to Anime America.
Ah, now that's the good stuff right there.